Larry died, but not really. I'm going to read a DM that somebody sent me. Y'all have been hitting me up about this video. Let me read this DM. It says, take a look at Mark Laita's recent video about the Whittakers. Someone in the family said one of them had died, so they could get money from Mark. Yet, he still exhibits kindness and compassion. I think this should be addressed on your YouTube channel so your viewers can perhaps reevaluate their opinion, and maybe you will as well. He was unfairly slammed, especially from the other guy who should be totally ashamed of himself. Thank you. Shout out to this person that messaged me. Let's go ahead and review this latest video from Mark Laita.
Mark, I'm sorry. I don't know anything about this. If you could just help me this one time. I don't know what to do anymore. I'm just asking you, can you send me $150? I promise after I get everything arranged for my dad. I never thought today would be the day I would lose my dad.
I received the message you just heard from Larry's daughter, BJ, about a week ago. BJ.
And let me read these messages. They say, I was going to see if you can help out with money so I can go get them something to wear to the funeral. I understand you helped me pay 800, but you can do this for me. I would really appreciate it. They have nothing to wear. If you can, please let me know while I'm out the house. Phone is out. And then there's more messages, which sounds like one of them was sent on Wednesday, and then the other ones are sent yesterday, whatever that time frame may be. Mark, can you please send me enough money to where we can make it down to the graveyard and back? Then another one. Hey, Mark, is there any way you can send me like 250 so I can get Betty, Timmy, Lorraine, and Ray, and it's something nice to wear to the funeral tomorrow? And then there's more messages. There will be a FB Live starting at 3 p.m. of my dad's service. Please message me and let me know. And I was going to see if you could send me $300 to help my sister pay for the dinner we are doing. Also, everything will be live so everyone can see it. Mark, do you have a Facebook?
BJ's been asking me for money to help pay for her father's funeral, obituary, and yesterday she texted me to ask for money for clothes for Betty, Lorraine, Ray, and Timmy to wear to Larry's funeral. So I thought I'd fly out to West Virginia to go to Larry's funeral, which is today. No one knows we're coming. And I spoke to Betty about Larry's death, and she confirmed what BJ had told me, that Larry had passed away. So
another family member confirmed that Larry had passed away, just so everybody's aware. A couple people confirming within the family.
Something still seems off, and I'm going to surprise everyone and see what I can find out.
So basically in this video, just to give you guys a rundown if you haven't watched it, Mark decides to go to where the Whittakers are at, kind of like an emergency type of trip without really telling the Whittakers that he was going down there. Prior to the trip, he had received voicemails from BJ, which happens to be Larry's daughter. Mark is showing this very interesting voicemail where BJ is telling Mark that Larry had died, so that she needed this money, and so Mark was sending this money. Mark then decides, well, I'm going to hop over there and see what's going on, and show up to the funeral that was scheduled sometime at 3 o'clock. The time frame is very interesting. In this video, we find out that BJ lied. Larry is alive, and he talks a little bit about that. Betty, who's supposed to be what seems to be the matriarch and also supposed to have some knowledge and say about where this money that everybody is donating, where this money goes, sounds like she's also enabling a little bit of this behavior where BJ lies to Mark and then Mark gives her money. Mark was under the impression that Larry had died. Okay. And BJ is confronted. Of course, she leaves, she sees Mark with the camera and she runs away and locks herself in a trailer, comes back later on, 20-some plus minutes later, and basically talks to Mark and is very much talking about a drug problem that she has, heroin and crack to be specific. She sits there with Larry and she's confronted by this. And in this conversation, BJ also discloses about other people that they're covering up for in terms of where this money is going. Okay. People have asked me in the comments and in the messages, does that change my mind about how I see Mark at this point? That he is this person with this selfless heart that is being taken advantage of by the Whittakers. Not really. And let me explain why. There was a couple things that Mark was called out for, I think, a very specific reason. One of those reasons being is that he started a GoFundMe and it was supposed to fund housing. The audience did not know that Mark was pulling money for the Whittakers. Now that money belongs to the Whittakers. He's doing that because the Whittakers are requesting this money. That's what he says, right? We don't have any records of that. I mean, this is what he's telling the people, which is fine. However, he wasn't transparent about that. People are endlessly donating money to this house, this potential house, right? That is supposed to be for this whole family and supposed to help them. Well, clearly we're seeing more cracks in this situation, more cracks in this familial foundation, right? There's some drug problems happening and there's some things that need to be addressed before there is even a house, right? So I think it's important, and I stand by what I said. He should have been transparent from the beginning about where these donations were going. If it wasn't going to go to a house, was it for a lifestyle? Was it to maybe pay other bills? Was it to address other things? I stand completely by that. I think that that's important. Now it sounds like I'm seeing in the description box that no more GoFundMes are being linked, but now there's the selling of the books that is supposed to help them. Is there an end goal to this help, right? Is BJ the only family member with said drug problem? It's a very complex issue, and I think that there needs to be a goal in mind, whether it's a house. Now it sounds like it could be a new bathroom, it could be a new something that could be built, or it could be for them.
Now I'm going to ask the question that maybe a lot of people are thinking, but they don't really want to ask, right? Did the money that was donated by some of the viewers and supporters of the Whittakers, did that actually fund a lot of this drug problems that are going on within the family, some of the drug issues? There's clear enabling by Larry and Betty, and who knows what other family members receive support. What do we have to show for this money? I know that there was the fixing of various cars and needs for certain things, but you do have to wonder, what do we have to show for this money because it didn't go to a house? And pay attention to this specific clip.
I understand when you get desperate for the drug, you'll do anything to get it. So you'll even say that your dad died and try to get money off somebody like me that fucks up everything you guys have going. It's like,
I know I was wrong for doing it.
yeah, I get it. I forgive you.
I'm sorry for it.
No, I forgive you.
I got the bank statements. I can tell you how much you gave them in 3 years. I added it up. You have gave them $150,000.
Yeah.
That's not counting what you sent to other people in the family.
Right.
But I got the bank statements over there. You gave them $153,000 since 2021 to now.
Yeah.
It's $150,000. I don't know why Betty said that you don't give her no money when you do. Like I told Betty, yeah, you might fuss about sending money, but you always send it to her.
Yeah, I give her a hard time every time.
Every time,
but I always
you
send
always
it.
send it.
I always send it, yeah.
You call this Tyler guy, he won't even answer our damn phone.
Well, I have no connection.
We got into it.
I have no connection with that guy.
Paige is the one that sent him here, and it was wrong of her. She's supposed to be Betty's friend. She shouldn't have done that.
Notice how they mentioned Tyler and also a contract. And I also put the subtitles there for an easier read.
And like I told Betty, me and my daddy, we were the one that signed that contract saying nobody else would video. Not her. It was me and my dad.
Mm-hmm.
So a contract does exist that says that nobody's supposed to visit them, at least creator-wise. It's interesting.
If we was here, that wouldn't have happened.
That's how I see the situation. But I mean, I'm just kind of wondering what you guys think. If I start a GoFundMe and I tell you guys, I'm going to start my GoFundMe to buy a house, okay? And in that GoFundMe, I decide to pay bills that maybe are to relieve some debt or some bills that kind of came up. Is that being honest about what I'm raising the money for? If I say that I'm buying a house and I need money, infinite amount of money to buy a house, is it okay for me to continuously raise money and not tell the public that I'm pulling money to address some other bills, go on vacation? I'm just thinking of different things that I could do with this money and not necessarily be transparent. Maybe buy some groceries or something to that effect. I mean, what your thoughts are, I understand some folks may feel a little bit different, and I'm totally willing to hear it, but let me know your thoughts. What do you guys think? Was it a good idea for Mark to have fundraised so much money, and now he's doing these emergency visits / funeral, unexpected stuff that's coming up, but it's really a lie? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. I'll see you guys on the next one. Rabbits out.